In this video, we're going to explore budgets and bar graphs. And if you remember from previous math classes that a bar graph is a type of graph or data display that uses rectangular bars to compare categories of data. So for this example, we're given a budget matrix. And instead of just being check marks on each month that you pay on certain expenses, they give you the amount that you're paying for each month for the different expense categories. And we want to create a bar graph so that we can compare how much we're spending each month. So the first thing we need to do is we need to calculate the total of health-related expenses for each month. So for example, you would take the first column and you would add it going down, and that would give you a total of $230. And you do this for each month. So if you look at the table below, I have given a spot where you can put your totals. So in January we spent $230. In February you would add the 90 plus 30, which means we would have spent $120. And the rest of the data I've already calculated for you and added up. So we want to take the data, which I've copied over onto the top of this page, and we want to create a bar graph. So the first thing we want to do is we want to give our bar graph a title, and we called this bar graph health related expenses. And then we want to decide what each axis represents. So on the x-axis is where we will record the months, and on the y-axis is the budgeted amount in dollars. Now if I look at the dollars, my lowest amount is $30 and it goes up to $1,100. So on my graph I went up by $200 on the y-axis, and from there all you have to do is create the bars. So for January I went up to approximately 230, and you see the bar there. Now as you can see by looking at this bar graph, it's very easy to make assumptions about when you're spending the most money. So obviously according to this bar graph, where I'm spending the most money is in September. And the two areas I'm spending the least amount of money are May and November. Another way to use this bar graph is to add on a average monthly line. So for the check your understanding, we want to know at what amount would a horizontal line be drawn to represent average monthly budget to the nearest dollar for health-related expenses, in which the month of budget from above. So as you remember, for the average, you're going to add all of your totals for each month, and then since we're doing it over a year, we would then divide by 12. And this ends up being at approximately $393.33. So we would go back up here and we would then draw our line. And for here, I am going to draw a red line to make it easy to see. So it would be just slightly below the 400 mark. And that is where we would have our average monthly expense. Now if we look at this bar graph, we can see there are a few months that are typically above the average. March is above the line, April, June, August, September, and December. So what this helps us to understand is that on these months where we're not quite meeting the average monthly expense amount, those are the months that we need to save more money so that we could cover the higher expenses on those 6 months that are above the line.